Hey everyone, it's Tim from Linessa Farms Specialty and Heirloom Livestock. Thanks for joining us again today. Have you ever considered buying a bottle lamb or a bottle baby goat? If you have, you're going to want to stay tuned to see this because we're going to keep you from getting burned. So here we are, we're back in the shop, and we've got a bottle baby lamb here on the farm. His name's Benson, and we currently have him up for sale. So here at Linessa Farms, we do things a little bit differently. So when we sell animals, they come with a 6-month health warranty and a 1 full season breeding warranty. We do a lot of education with our customers, and that's just not typical for most locations. And I know some of you, the cost to get your own animal, and here he is, the cost to get your own animal can be prohibitive, especially if you're new. And a bottle baby may sound like a good option, and it can be a good option. If you have the time and effort to spend on bottle feeding a baby, we encourage you to do so. It'll help you to bond with that baby better, and I think it'll be a good overall experience for you and that lamb or that goat kid. The things that we're going to talk about today are pretty much the same for lambs and goat kids. As a matter of fact, as far as I know, they're exactly the same. If you have any thoughts on that, or if you think anything's different, please let us know in the comment section. If you want to know about bottle feeding, like how to bottle feed, how to make your formula and things like that, you can check out this video link right here. That's going to cover how to make your own formula. And then if you want to check out this link right here, this is going to show you how to bottle feed. But today we're talking about the bottle baby itself and the things that you're going to want to check out to make sure that you're not going to get burned. So the first thing is if you can go to the farm, we highly encourage you to do so. You don't want to meet somebody somewhere or have them bring the baby to you. It's best if you can go to their farm, see the location, see how the baby is being handled. We want you to ask to see the parents if at all possible. These are all kind of what I like to refer to as the demographics. We want you to see the parents. We want you to get the date of birth. We want you to find out if he or she has been given any medication, or if any procedures have been done to this animal. Has it been docked? Has it been castrated? Has it been disbudded? Any of those things, all of those pertinent health information things that you need to know. Now, some people flip animals. We refer to it kind of in a derogatory term, like they get them from one place and they sell them at another. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes people will go to large goat farms, goat dairy farms, and maybe get lots and lots of babies, and they're going to sell them to you. And if you go to their farm and the babies are doing great and they're up and moving around really good, that's okay. It may not be that bad, but if you go there and it's just nasty, it smells really bad, and there's other issues going on, you're definitely going to want to walk away. And that's something that we'll talk about here in a second. So the first thing that I want you to look at, and we're going to go through five steps here. The first thing that we're going to talk about, come here, buddy. Hey. And this is something important for you to consider. If you can, I want you to bring a bottle with you. Now, I want you to ask them before you show up and say, hey, can I see them eat when I get there? This is very, very important. You do not, we're going to assume the worst. We're going to assume that this person's trying to rip you off, and we want to make sure that we're not getting ripped off. And so I want you to bring a bottle with you with a little bit of milk in it, just so you can feed them there and see how this baby responds to the bottle. Even if they say they're going to let you feed them when you get there, just bring your own, just in case they change their mind for some reason when you get there. Go ahead and bring me that bottle. Thanks. Come here, buddy. Hey. So I want to see how this animal responds to the bottle. A bottle baby, a true bottle baby knows what that bottle is, and you can see with Benson here. Benson knows what this bottle is, and I'm gonna give Benson this bottle because if this was a new baby, I want to see how this baby is going to respond. And so I'm just going to lightly offer the bottle to him, and I'm going to see what they do. Now, in this case, you can see he goes right after it. He knows how to take from a bottle. This is not anything new. And so I'm just going to let him eat from the bottle a little bit and see how he does, and that's great. So I've already established 2 of the 3 things that I want you to check for here. you need to check for the suck reflex, and you need to check for their ability to swallow. Can they nurse? Can they swallow? If they can't nurse, if they can't swallow, if you offer them a bottle and they don't want it, no good. You need to walk away. The other thing that I need you to check while you're doing this is I need you to check the structure of their mouth, and I need you to check their bite. Now, structure and bite, some people may say, well, that really doesn't matter too much. It can matter a lot because as this animal grows, if their bite is off, this can have a very negative impact on their ability to grow. Plus, you're not going to be able to breed them. You're not going to be able to show them. Nobody wants an animal with an off mouth. Generally speaking, if they have an off mouth when they're a baby, it's going to get more and more pronounced as they age. And so that's something that you're going to want to check for. So essentially, the top of his mouth should line up evenly over the bottom. It shouldn't be off to the side. And I'm just going to take a quick peek at his mouth, feel with my fingers, and make sure that that's the case, and it is. His mouth looks really good. It's nice and warm. He's got a few little teeth there. If you find yourself in a situation where you absolutely just for some reason you forgot your bottle, they don't have anything, and you can't do anything, it's this, any baby, you should be able to stick your finger in their mouth and they're going to nurse on your finger. The only negative part of this is you're not going to be able to see if he's able to swallow, but just something for you to consider. So we're done with the mouth. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to move on to the eyes. I want you to make sure that there's not any major discharge coming from the eyes. I want you to check the bottom of the eyelids and make sure that they're nice and pink. I'm looking down in this bottom area. In this case, he's nice and pink. And I want you to look inside both eyes, make sure they are not scratched, and make sure that he doesn't have any scratched cornea, which would lead you to believe that he has an inverted eyelid or something like that. The next thing, so step 3, what we're going to check for is we want to check the urinary system. The urinary system on these little fellows and gals can be goofed up sometimes. Sometimes little boys are born with little girl parts. Sometimes little girls are born with little boy parts. If you see that they have both parts, you're going to want to walk away. It's not a good deal. If you see any kind of weird anatomical stuff going on, things don't look like they're supposed to, you're going to want to just walk away. It's rare that it does happen, but it does happen, so it's definitely something that you want to check out. The other thing you want to check out is the general reproductive system. Make sure that everything looks like it should, again, anatomically speaking. And then for the boys, if they have testicles, you're going to want to check and you're going to want to feel them and make sure that you can actually feel both of the testicles down there. While we've got them flipped up on their back, we can go ahead and check where their umbilicus was. And you're going to be able to feel down here for an umbilical hernia. You would feel a large bulge in this area. If they're going to have a hernia, chances are this is where they're going to have it. That's another no-no at this point in life. The other thing that you want to check for is teat structure. So in his case, he looks great. He's got one teat there, and it looks like he just took a little poop on me. And that is it in a nutshell. The last thing I want to check for while I'm down here is so this would be step 4. I want to check their back end, and I want to see that their back end is remotely clean. He had a little bit of poop back there. Would you give me a rag? He had a little bit of poop back there, but it was nothing major. If their bottom is coated in diarrhea, we call it scours in the trade. But if their little back end is completely covered in diarrhea, that's a no-go. You're done. If you go to where they're at and it has a weird smell, like a poop smell that you can't identify, the animal itself smells of like some kind of funk you don't know, their breath smells like some kind of a funk when you're holding them, chances are they may have something like E. coli, or some kind of other issues going on. They could have coccidiosis. We don't know. Bottom line, I don't care what they tell you, because sellers will have an excuse for everything. If you see any of these things, it's a no-go. You don't do it. I don't care how good the animal is. I don't care how good of a deal it is. If you go through any of those steps and any of those are bad, any red flags come up at all, you're done. Just stop, just let it go, move on. It's a loss, and that's okay. The last thing that I want to do is I want to watch the animal move. Now, we already saw Benson walk up to me, and we know that he can stand, and we know that he can move. That's another very important thing that you want to check for. You want to watch them move. Can they walk? Do they walk straight? Do they wobble? Are they hunched up? Do they arch their back and hunch up when they move around? If they arch their back and hunch up when they move around, that could be a sign of an illness. That could be a sign of a gastrointestinal illness, a vitamin deficiency, all kinds of problems. So another one that's a no-go. If they can't stand, if they can't move, anything like that, you're completely done. So you'll notice that there was a few things that I didn't cover, a few things that I didn't talk about. I didn't ask you to ask them a whole lot of questions other than, if you could see the parents, if they'd have shots, things like this. If you want to ask them what's wrong and why they're selling them as a bottle baby, that's fine. I'm not too much into asking these kinds of questions because I assume that, it's up to me to do my homework. People will lie. So I just don't even give them opportunity to do so. So in a nutshell, he's doing great. Again, if any of those things are wrong, then it's just a no-go and you're done. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, please let us know below. Leave them in the comment section. We'll be more than happy to answer them for you. If you're in the Indiana area, Benson here is actually for sale. Benson is a Polled Dorset Ram Lamb, and I think we're going to keep him intact for the time being. So that is it. That's it in a nutshell. Pretty quick, down and dirty. If you follow these directions, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Again, I am Tim from Linessa Farms, Specialty and Heirloom Livestock. Thank you very much for joining.